We actually developed our products for our horses.
First main Black Friday, doing $1 million in sales.
It's a lottery ticket. You don't know which video would blow up and that would completely change your life. So that's what happened with me.
We went from 5 figures into 7-figure months.
We're registered in 40 countries around the world.
One of the biggest mistakes that we made, I believe, was...
I'm here in the Gold Coast, Australia, and we're here at Retail Fest, and inside is hundreds of retailers and e-commerce brands, and I'm going to go inside, I'm going to ask some questions, I'm going to find out what's working, what's not working, what the biggest mistakes are, and get some hints and tips for you so you can learn how to scale your store. Let's go. These two guys look like they might own a brand. I'm going to ask them now. Hey guys, do you mind if I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Do you happen to own an e-commerce brand or run an e-commerce brand by any chance?
We do.
What's the brand?
Bush Tucker Blends.
And what does Bush Tucker Blends do?
We are a supplement company that makes supplements from Australian native ingredients.
Awesome. Australian supplements. And how long have you been in business for?
Approximately 4 years.
Throughout that 4 years, what's been the most exciting or the biggest piece of success you've had?
Ooh, biggest piece of success. Look, I think the most exciting thing is that we're actually driving change, and genuine change. It's not about profit for us. It's literally about changing people's lives. I know that sounds quite corny, but it's why we're in it.
No, and I think that's exactly what makes a good business. And what made you get into e-commerce and this Bush Tucker brand?
Oh, look, for me personally, I used to be in hospitality, and it was an amazing industry to be in. It was great, but there was it's quite a flawed business model. And so e-commerce, we just applied everything that we sort of learnt from that. And e-commerce is something that you can drive quite globally. There's no ceiling on it like hospitality. I don't know, that's one of the main reasons that I got into it.
And what would you say the hardest thing has been over the last 4 years?
No, the hardest thing, learning, not knowing what you've got to do to actually not having someone to bounce off. So you don't know in your industry, what are the targets you're meant to hit? What is the industry norm in certain sectors? And just trying to work your way through that was quite difficult.
You've had some success. What do you think the biggest mistakes are that you've made in the last 4 years?
One of the biggest mistakes that we made, I believe, was when we turned on what we thought was a tap to go overseas, and we just sort of went naively to the world and then realised there was a lot of legalities around supplements getting in through customs and different things, and being able to having to retract back from that and sort of think about individual markets from overseas. That was one of the big learning curves that we had.
Yeah, I think even just going straight into Meta, thinking that you're going to spend a bit of money and you're going to get X, Y, Z. You put $1,000 in and you're going to get $1,000 out naively at the start, and then just knowing that brand is more important than anything, and knowing that you've got to build a brand. People are not just buying the product, they're buying the story and they're buying the ethos behind the brand. So building a strong ethos is super important.
Absolutely, I love that. And if there was anyone watching this video and they're thinking about starting a brand or getting into e-commerce, what advice are you going to give them?
You've really genuinely got to love what you do, because if you're doing it just for the money, that will dry up at some point. Every business goes through hardships, and if you've got some deeper driving force behind it, it will get you through those hard times.
I'm the same, just love it. Got to love what you do.
So those guys were awesome. They are putting passion over profit, and they said it really well. It's like, if you're just chasing the dollars, you're going to fizzle out. You've got to be passionate about what you do and just do it for the cause. And that's what I really loved about those founders. All right, so we're hearing some pretty cool founders so far. I'm going to check out this guy here. He looks like he runs a business. I'm going to ask him. Hey, excuse me, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you own an e-commerce brand by any chance?
Yeah.
What's the brand called?
5 Minute Blinds.
And what does 5 Minute Blinds do?
So custom made blinds and curtains online, shipped to you, install it yourself.
Amazing. And how long have you been running that company for?
About 18 months ago we launched, but we're working on it for about 9 months before going live with the website.
That's amazing. And what have been your biggest wins so far in running this business?
First main Black Friday, doing $1 million in sales, which was a big win. That was pretty exciting. That was pretty cool. My biggest thing when I started this business, I wanted to help my dad retire. And so knowing that has got traction now and that's like happening at the moment feels awesome to be able to like hit that big goal of why I wanted to start it.
That's amazing. And what has been the biggest challenge on, hitting $1 million in a month?
When your sales go up really fast, particularly with us, we've got a custom-made product. Like this isn't something sitting on a shelf and we're worried about inventory. But all of a sudden, it's staff, it's training, it's being able to get these products made and out the door and being able to scale that, keeping the quality at the speed that we're scaling the sales. Like sales for us is like going really great, and then it's like operationally, it's like every day you've constantly got new challenges, new problems, new things to figure out, new teams to be, new team members to be bringing on and onboarding and all that sort of stuff.
That's huge. So you've only been in business for a short period of time. What made you start an e-commerce business?
I had another e-commerce business before, Australian Face Masks, that went really well, but it was a COVID-related business, so very short term. And that was my first foray into e-commerce. I was like, I like this. This is pretty cool. Well, let's do something really long term that can be here for 20 years plus.
I love that. So you learned from your first business and you started this next business. And what are the biggest lessons that you have taken so far from your e-commerce journey?
Okay, so the Australian Face Mask is probably like my 8th business. Biggest thing is keep on going. No matter what happens, if you fail, it doesn't go well, you look like an idiot, keep on going, launch the next thing, keep on persevering, and eventually it works out. 5 Minute Blinds is now the first business that I'm actually passionate about, and it's probably like my 7th, 8th, or 9th business. So it's like, just keep on going and you'll figure it out and you'll find the opportunity that's right.
That's crazy, man. So you're like a serial entrepreneur. You got your heart set on e-commerce. Now, if there was someone like looking to start an e-commerce business, or it's their first time, they don't have the experience of you, what advice would you give them?
Go and find people who have been there and done that and get their help and advice.
That's perfect, man. Thanks so much. Chat to you later.
No worries.
All right, so that guy, he has 8 e-commerce businesses and he did $1 million in a month in less than 8 months of actually running the business. That is wild. But what I've learned about that one is he learned what to do over 8 years and he pivoted and changed. He didn't get stuck in an idea. He just learned and launched a business that he knew was going to work. Super inspirational. All right, I think I've got 2 people I'm going to ask right now. Oh, hey guys, can I ask you a couple of questions? Are you e-commerce brand founders by any chance? Yeah, we are. Awesome. Tell me a little bit about what brand do you guys have?
So the company name is Savvy Touch, and our main brand is Rocket Fuel.
Amazing. And how long have you guys been in business for?
Maybe we've been going 18 years in August, but we're a 15-year overnight success.
15-year overnight success. That's awesome. And what would you put it down to your success?
Bit of grit, a bit of determination, time in the market, and having a good product.
Tell us a little bit about your product.
So we've got 8 in the range, and then our little hero product is called Rocket Fuel. We're pretty big on social. We actually blew up through the COVID period. This little guy was nicknamed the Natural Vax, which is pretty awesome. So it's 100% natural, designed to open up the respiratory system. So you've got a flu zooming around, and what better way than to smack it with natural ingredients. Since 2020, we really started growing. 21 to 23, we had enormous growth. We went from 5 figures into 7-figure months. We started moving from 180 kilos in production in a quarter to 4 tons in a month, and that's a lot of bottles.
That's amazing. And what would you say the secret to that hyper growth was in your business?
Having a product that actually works. So our reviews coming out, we've got over 5,000 5-star reviews. Anyone can use it, anyone can benefit, but we've got COPD and emphysema at that end. We've got breath coaches, sinus sufferers. We've got Olympic athletes at the other end.
That's awesome. So it feels like product is absolutely the heart of everything that you guys do. If someone else was sort of watching this video and they were looking to start a business, what advice would you give them?
Be really conscious of the market you're going into. We actually developed our products for our horses. Our tag, when we first launched, was tested on humans before horses. So that was our philosophy. We just wanted to do the absolute best for our horses. Everything we did was human grade. We tested everything on ourselves. And by default, everyone was using the products on themselves. And they said, guys, this shit's unreal. That is the strength. This is a unique product. Be passionate. You've got to have belief. And you've got to be prepared to take a beating. You're not going to go out in your first year and make $1 million. It's not going to happen. We're a 15-year overnight success. And there's many times we could have, should have, maybe even stopped, but we didn't. We just had belief, and we were getting feedback. We love your product. So we hung in there, and universe lined up, boom. And now we're really only just starting.
Love that. I guess you heard it here. Overnight success in 15 years, the perseverance, the belief in your product. Keep trying, keep just getting there, and that's how you get your brand started. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Well done on the product. Cheers. All right, have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Now, those 2 guys were super inspirational. Been in business for like 18 years, and you could just tell how passionate he was about that product. He just wanted to be changing lives with great products. So one key takeaway from that one is grit is more important than anything else. Just keep trying hard, be passionate about what it is, change people's lives, and you're going to be able to do it forever. Okay, so I'm going to find another founder now. Let's see what's happening. Oh, excuse me. Hey, do you mind if I just ask you a few questions?
Oh, yeah.
Are you an e-commerce founder by any chance?
Yes, I
Awesome.
actually am, yeah.
So cool. What do you sell?
I've got got 2 e-com brands. The first one is Cup 49. We do DIY bubble tickets. Second is Jelly, and we do gel nails tickets, so you can do your gel nails at home.
That is so cool. And how long have you been in business for?
Oh my gosh, since 2019. What's that? 5 years? Yeah, 5 years.
Awesome. And what would you say your biggest success has been so far?
Oh my gosh, last year's been pretty crazy. We launched into Boots, 165 Boots stores in the UK and Ireland. They're sort of like Priceline, but a lot bigger. Yeah, so I think that will be it.
165 stores off the back of an e-commerce business. And how did Boots find you?
I was actually on social. So we grew both the brands through organic socials on TikTok, Instagram, and a buyer just saw our products, sent me an email. I remember I saw the email and at the bottom it said Boots, and I was like, oh, I wonder what Boots is, because I'm in Australia. I don't know about this. So I like searched it up and I was like, oh my gosh, they're massive. So that's how they found us on socials and they reached out.
It's amazing. So you've been in business for 5 years. You're now a global business, bounced off TikTok, getting viral content by the sounds of it. What do you think the secret to your success is?
Oh, okay. If it's one thing, it's get on the content, get on organic content. Brittany Swanis was speaking yesterday, and I think what she said was so true. It's a lottery ticket. You don't know which video would blow up, and that would completely change your life. So that's what happened with me.
That's amazing. And what do you think the hardest thing has been so far in the 5 years of running 2 big e-commerce brands?
The hardest thing, continuously pivoting, continuously problem solving. I think that the landscape's changing all the time. Navigating the current economic crisis. So I think it's the constant pivoting and figuring out what to do next would be the hardest thing.
Amazing. So you've got 5 years of experience, 2 e-commerce brands, global sensation. For people that are thinking about starting an e-commerce business, what would be one piece of advice you'd give them?
Just do it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know anything. I didn't have any business background. I didn't graduate from business. I didn't have family or friends that, were successful in business. Just do it and you'll learn as you go.
I can't believe it. She's in 160 stores in another country that she didn't even know anything about, and it was all from a viral TikTok video. And she runs 2 brands, and it's unbelievable. So it just goes to show that there's one channel that you could go down and your life could completely change. So e-commerce definitely is alive and well, and we are absolutely hearing from founders today on how to do that. All right, I see this guy over here. He looks like he owns a brand. I'm going to check him out. Yeah, do you own an e-commerce brand by any chance?
I do, yeah.
Awesome. Tell me a bit, what's the brand you own?
Okay, vpa.com.au.
And what does VPA sell?
We sell the VPA product. We're registered in 40 countries around the world, and we're a health supplement brand.
40 countries around the world. How long have you been in business for?
Oh, too long. 13 years. So yeah, enjoying it.
Awesome. And has e-commerce been sort of the core focus of your business?
Yeah, it's our primary channel that we sell through. I have an IT and sort of accounting background, but yeah, we do most of our business through e-commerce.
That's amazing. And what would you say one of the secrets to your success in getting to 40 countries is?
Resilience, you have to keep working at it. I would say definitely engage a trademark expert before you launch your brand. We had to sort of rebrand in 2016, but we've done that quite successfully. And yeah, have the right people around you.
And what would you think the hardest part of running a business for this long has been?
For me, letting go. I don't know if other business owners find the same, but letting go of things and allowing people to develop and do what they're good at rather than what you have a skill set in.
Amazing. And if there was anyone watching this that's looking to start an e-commerce business or something like that, what advice would you give them?
Just do it. No, yeah, definitely get in there. There's low barriers to entry, but have a go, and yeah, who knows?
That's amazing. Thank you so much. So 40 countries he's selling into. This guy knows how it's done. So if you're looking to start a business, you've got to check out what these guys are doing. So he's been in business for so long and he is selling into 40 countries. How good is e-commerce? And really, like what everyone's saying, it's passion, it's grit, it's perseverance. That's really what makes it. And what I'm hearing from founders so far is it's got nothing to do with luck. It's all about determination. I think it's true. The longer you do something, the more successful you're going to be.